Today we're going to do a new tips and tricks video for how to use Google to do your family history research. Some of the things we've talked about in the past, but a lot of these are new, and I really want to show you some of the new things I've been finding as I've used Google to learn more about my family. So we'll talk about web search and image search today, and the newspaper search in Google, and also a little bit about Google Translate. I'll move pretty fast, but know that you can pause these videos anytime you need to try it for yourself. But we'll go ahead and get started in the Chrome web browser. Chrome is Google's internet browser like Firefox or Internet Explorer, and I'll be doing all the demos there in that browser. So let's come in and give this a try. We're going to do a search for Frederick Leroy Gibb. So I'm going to give that a click. This first result looks good. I'll give that a click, and it'll say Mary's Genealogy Treasures. Wow, this looks like something that I might want to save or bookmark, or even copy the text out and do some searches here and see what I can learn. That looks like a good result there. Let's say though that I don't want to get through 7.9 million results, so I'll do a tilde genealogy, which will tell Google that I want results similar to genealogy. And you'll see now I've got results from Ancestry.com and Roots Web and People Search and other things that are more specific to genealogy. Let me show you another trick. We've talked about this in the other videos, but Google will search websites for you. So I'll do ancestry site ancestry.com and then Massachusetts marriages. I can see here that I can click and learn about the different collections that Ancestry.com has for Massachusetts marriages. I can do that for this site, or I could change this and do FamilySearch.org. Then I can get in here and see what Family Search has. And it looks like here when I click this, they've got descriptions about historical records in Massachusetts, related websites, all kinds of different information. This is the Family Search Wiki, and it's given me information on Massachusetts marriages. So that's something that can help me as well. Now let's do another search for an ancestor. I'm going to try to find Benjamin Ashby. And the first result I get is the autobiography of him. 1828, 1907. Yep, that's him. So I could copy that out and save that autobiography if I didn't already have that. A couple clicks down, a couple links down is something called Find a Grave, and I've got a picture. Wow! And I've got a headstone. Looks like he was in the Utah militia, and another headstone here. I've got a whole description of his life, and as I arrow down, something that Find a Grave has been doing, which is just so remarkable, is that people have been coming in here and putting links to other family members. So Nathaniel Ashby, this is his information, his headstone. His spouse, Ann Chester from England, her photo, and all of his kids are here. I'm through James Ralph, so I'll give that a click and see his headstone and his information, and his spouse and his children. And Find a Grave is just tremendous, and I'm so grateful that people are putting more and more families together and linking their headstones and photos and information so that I can find that. So let's get back to Google here. Let's say that I don't want to do a web search. Well, I'm going to come and click images. If I give images a click, I can see, well, I've got, it looks like 2 images that look like what I want to find. But if I click search tools, then I'll be able to do a little bit more. Let's say the type. I want to refine by the type, and I just want face. So it gives me a couple more results. But the color here, if I switch it to black and white, then you'll see that I'll have lots of other results that look similar. This looks like Nathaniel, yep, and I've got images for him and places he might be on the web. This individual as well, Find a Grave. This looks like somebody familiar. Look at all that information, all those photographs for that person. So if you refine in Google Images, you can get a little bit closer to what you're looking for. In Chrome, there's also this search by image feature where if I click that, click upload image and then choose file, I can actually upload a photo of one of my ancestors. We're going to do John Rowlandson Robinson. Upload that to Google and see what I can find. It's given me some similar images, but up here, if I describe it, I'll find that I've got some information here from Ancestry.com and some other images on the web. Find a Grave has this one. It's Google can recognize this and tell me that these might be similar to the image that I uploaded. And so I can go to Find a Grave in Ancestry and find more information on that, which is something that's very, very helpful. So that's the web search and the image search I wanted to show you. Google has a news section as well. If you type news.google.com/newspapers, you can come in and do some searches specifically in newspapers. And so what I'm going to do here is look for John Lai Gibb. Give that a click. Click this first link. Whoa, photos, wow. I can definitely come in and use that information from that database. Down here, I've got another one from the Calgary Herald in 1962. I'll give that a click. Family has reunion at Cardston. More than 120 descendants. John Gibb, yep. Born in Liverpool, England in 1848. The second generation also present. Wow, I've got a whole article that would link a whole family together thanks to the digitization that Google has done. Looks like the Calgary Herald. And I can browse this newspaper and browse all the newspapers and link to this article and save this image and save this information. I'm going to do another search here for another Canada ancestor and look for James Vokes. I'll try that. That looks okay, but I know that he spent a lot of time in Toronto. So if I click that, I'll try this first link here. Miss S.A. Vokes dead. Sarah Ann Lumby. Yep, that's his wife. Widow, let's see, late Mrs. Vokes was born in Bradford, England. We had no idea where she was from until we found this newspaper clipping in 1920 from the Toronto World. Once we found out that that Sarah was born in Bradford, England, we went back and found the Lumby family there and found the whole family in the census. And this was our link to get across the pond and find that family. So that was something that was just way exciting. My wife and I were thrilled with that discovery. Let's go to Google Translate. This is a website that I don't understand, but I know that I have Scandinavian ancestry. So if I come here and I found this doing a search, and if I get to the site, the Chrome browser will ask me if I want to translate this, and I'll say translate, and it'll give me this whole thing in English, which is just a lifesaver. I can come in now and navigate this, and the browser will detect whether or not it needs to be translated. Google Translate is another thing that you're probably familiar with in this area. You can type in text and translate the language. But one of the things Google will do is it will detect the language. And so if I come in and let's say that I get to a photo or an image of one of my ancestors, but I can't tell what this word is up here, I can write it down and then come in here and try to type it in to Google Translate. Tingslang list. Well, that didn't do it. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Well, it's detected it's Norwegian, and it's given me the English, which is access list. Well, if I didn't know that's what that word meant, that would be very useful to have that information available through Google Translate. And so get in there and translate what you need to and work in the different languages of the world. Those are the tricks and tips that I wanted to share with you today. Be sure to scroll down and see the rest of the Google Genealogist series. And best of luck in your research for your family, and give Google a try as you do your family history research. Bye now.